Hey guys, welcome to my channel. We are reading A Dog's Journey by W. Bruce Cameron. We are on chapter 4. So I'm just going to start reading this now. Chapter 4. Images were just starting to resolve themselves in my blurry eyes when I remembered everything. One moment I was a newborn puppy with no direction or purpose other than finding my mother's milk, and then the next morning I was me, still a happy puppy, but one with a memory of being Buddy, and all of the previous times I've been a puppy in my lives. My mother's fur was curly and short and dark. My limbs were dark as well, at least what I could see of them through my newly opened eyes. But my soft fur was not at all curly. All of my siblings were equally dark color, though. As we bumped into each other, I could feel that only one had fur like mine. The rest were as curly as our mother. I knew that my vision would soon clear, but I doubted that would do much to help me understand why I was a puppy again. My convention had always been that I had an important purpose, and that's why I kept being reborn. Then everything I had ever learned to do added up in helping my boy Ethan, and I had been by his side and had guided him through the final years of his life. And that, I thought, was my purpose. Now, what was I to be reborn over and over forever? Could a dog have more than one purpose? How was that possible? All the puppies slept together in a big box. As my limbs grew stronger, I explored our surroundings, and it was pretty much as exciting as a box could be. Sometimes I'd hear footsteps descending stairs, and then a fuzzy shape would lean over the box, squeaking, with either a voice of a man or a voice of a woman. The way our mother wagged her tail let me know these were the people who took care of her and loved her. Pretty soon I could see they were indeed a man and a woman. That's how I thought of them, as the man and the woman. One day the man brought a friend to grin down at us. The friend had no hair on his head except for around his mouth. They are so cute, the bald one with the hairy mouth said. 6 puppies, that's a nice-sized litter. You want to pick one up? The man responded. I froze as I felt what seemed like huge hands come down and grab me. I held still, a little intimidated, as the man with his mouth hair lifted me up and stared at me. This one's not like the others, the man holding me said. His breath smelled powerfully of butter and sugar, so I licked the air a little. No, she has a brother that's the same way. We're not sure what happened. Bella and the sir were both AKC poodles, but that one sure doesn't look like a poodle. They're thinking. Well, there was this afternoon when we forgot to close the back door. Bella could have gotten out. Maybe another male got over the fence, the man said. Wait, is that even possible? 2 different fathers? I had no idea what they were talking about, but if all he was going to do was hold me and blow tantalizing odors at me, I was ready to be put down. I guess so, the vet said. It can happen. 2 separate sirs. That's hilarious. Yeah, except we're not going to be able to sell the 2 mystery dogs. You want that one? Free since you're a buddy? No, thank you, the man holding me laughed, letting me back down. My mother sniffed the stranger's scent on me and, protective and kind, gave me a reassuring lick, while my brothers and sisters staggered over to their unsteady legs because they had probably already forgotten who I was and wanted to challenge me. I ignored them. Hey, how's your son? The man with the hairy face asked. Thanks for asking. Still sick, has this cough, probably going to have to take him to the doctor. He's been down here to see the pups. No, they're a little young yet. I want them to get stronger before he handles them. The two men walked away, dissolving into the blurry gloom beyond my field vision. As the days passed, I became aware of the young child's voice upstairs, a male, and became alarmed over the prospect of starting over again. With a new boy, that couldn't be my purpose, could it? It seemed wrong, somehow, as if I could be a bad dog, if I had a boy other than Ethan. One afternoon, the man scooped up all of us and put us in a small box that he carried up the stairs. Our mother panted anxiously at his heels. We were set on the floor, and then the man turned the box gently so that we all tumbled out. "Puppies!" the little boy sang out from somewhere behind us. I spiraled my leg a little for balance and peered around. It was like a living room at the farm, with a couch and chairs. We were on a soft blanket, and naturally, most of my siblings immediately tried to get off it, heading off in all directions for the slick floor beyond the edge of the blanket. Me, I stayed put. In my experience, mother dogs like soft spots more than hard ones, and it's always smarter to stick with mother. The man and the woman laughed, grabbing the fleeing puppies and placed them back in the center of the blanket, which should have given them all the hint that they were not supposed to go running off. Though most of them tried to do it again, a boy circled around, older than Clarity, but still pretty young. Hoping excitedly, I was reminded of Clarity's little legs bobbling up and down when she saw the stupid horse in the barn. Though I was reluctant to love any other boy but Ethan, it was difficult to be swept up in the joy we all felt at the sight of this little human, holding his arms out to us. The boy reached for my brother, the one who, like me, had longer, flatter fur. I could sense my siblings' distress when the boy snatched him up. "Be careful, son," the man said. "Don't hurt him. Be gentle," the woman said. These were, I decided, the mother and father of the little boy. "He's kissing me," the little boy giggled, as my brother submissively licked the boy on the mouth. "It's okay, Bella. You're a good boy," the man said, petting your mother, who was pacing around the blanket, yawning anxiously. The little boy was coughing. "Are you okay?" the mom asked him. He nodded, setting down my brother and immediately scooping up one of my sisters. My other two brothers were at the edge of the blanket and had stopped sniffing, unsure of the surface. "I hate the sound of that cough. It sounds like it's gotten worse," the man said. "He wasn't bad at all this morning," the woman replied. The little boy was breathing loudly, now coughing, and making a harsh noise. His coughing was getting worse. Both of his parents froze, staring at him. "Johnny," the woman said. There was fear in her voice. Our mother went to her, wagging anxiously. The man set the puppies he'd been holding on the floor and grabbed the boy by the arm. "Johnny, can you breathe?" The boy bent over, his hands on his knees. His breathing was thick and loud and heavy. He turned blue. The woman yelled, my siblings, and I flinched at the raw terror in her voice. "Call 911!" the man shouted at her. "Johnny, stay with me! Son, look at me!" Whether consciously or not, all of us had found our way to our mother and were at her feet, seeking reassurance. She lowered her nose to us briefly, but she was panting and anxious, and went over to the man and tried to nuzzle him. The man ignored her. "Johnny!" he shouted, agonised. Several of the puppies were trying to follow our mother, and when she saw this, she came back to us, pushing us with her muzzle to keep us on the blanket and out of the way. The man laid the boy on the couch. The boy's eyes were fluttering, and his breath was still harsh and painful sounding. The woman came in, and her hands pressed on her mouth, weeping. I heard the sirens, and it got louder, and then 2 men and a woman were in the room. They put something on the boy's face and took him out of the house on the bed. The man and the woman went with them, and then we were alone. It was the nature of puppies to explore, so my siblings immediately left the blanket to sniff the far corners of the room. Our mother paced and whined and kept raising up her right ear to look out the front window, and 2 of my siblings followed her around. I sat on the blanket, tried to understand, though he was not my boy. I felt a strong concern for the child. It did not mean I didn't love Ethan. I was just feeling a fear because we were puppies. We made messes all over the house. I knew when I was older I would have more self-control, but at this point I didn't know. I needed to swat until suddenly the need would be upon me. I hoped the man and the woman would not be angry with me. We were all asleep when the man came home by himself. He put us in the basement, and I could hear him moving around upstairs. And the air carried and the scent of soap. We nursed our mother was finally calm. Now that the man was home, the next day we were taken to a different basement in the different house. A mother would who smelled like cooking and laundry, and dogs greeted us with kisses and cooing sounds. Her house had a scent of many dogs, though I only saw one, a slowly moving male who walked low to the ground, nearly dragging his big floppy ears. Thanks for this. I'm really grateful, Jennifer, the man said to her. Fostering dogs is what I do, she said. I just adopted out a boxer yesterday, so I knew I'd be getting more. That's how it always works, your wife said. Your son has asthma. Yes, he's apparently deathly allergic to dogs, but we never knew it because Bella is a poodle, and apparently Johnny's not allergic to poodles. We had no idea. I feel so stupid. His allergic reaction triggered his asthma attack, and we didn't even know he had asthma. I thought we were going to lose him. Bella, hearing her name, wagged a little. Our mother was distressed, though. When the man left, we were in a nice-sized box in the basement, but as soon as the man walked away, Bella left it and then sat at the door to the stairs and cried. This distressed the puppies, who sat subdued, not playing. I'm sure I looked at the same way. Our mother, upset, was clear and urgent. That day we did not nurse. The woman named Jennifer didn't notice it, but we did, and pretty soon we were all whimpering. Our mother was just too disturbed and saddened to lay down for us, even when her treats became heavy and began to leak and tangled odor that made us all dizzy. I knew why she was so sad. A dog belonged with her people. Our mother paced all night, crying softly. We all slept, but in the morning we were aching with hunger. Jennifer came to see why we were crying and told Bella it was okay, but I could hear the alarm in her voice. She left the room and we cried for our mother, but Bella was paced and whined and ignored us. Then, after what seemed like a long time, Bella was at the door, her snout at the crack beneath it, sniffing in with great gusts. Her tail started to wag, and then the man opened the door. Bella was sobbing and jumping up on the man, and the man was pushing her away. You have to stay down, Bella. I need you to stay down. She hasn't been nursing the pups. She's too upset, Jennifer said. Okay, Bella, come over here. Come on. The man ushered Bella over to the box and made her lie down. He kept his hand on her, and she stayed, and we went at her in the mad rush, pushing and sucking and fighting each other. I'm just worried that the puppy's dagger is on her, and then, oh my gosh, hold on. I was just worried that the puppy's dagger is on her, and it will get on me, and then Johnny will have an attack. He got an inhaler and everything, but if Bella doesn't nurse, her puppies will die, Jennifer said. I have to do what's best for Johnny. We're having the entire house steam clean, the man said. My belly was getting warm and heavy. It was a glorious thing to feed. Well, what if you took Belle and the poodle puppies home with you? You could bathe them, get rid of any trace of the other puppies. You'd at least save 4 of them, and it would be best for Bella, too. The man and Jennifer were quiet for a long time, completely full and staggered away so sleepily. I just wanted to climb on one of the puppies and nap. You'd euthanize the other 2 then. I wouldn't want them to starve to death, the man said. They would not suffer, Jennifer said. A few minutes later, I was surprised when the man and Jennifer reached in and picked up a pair of puppies each. Bella hopped out of the box and followed my brother, the one who had fur like mine, whimpered a little, but we were both really sleepy. We curled up a little, but we were both really sleepy. We curled up against each other for warmth, my head on his back. I didn't know our mother and our siblings had gone, but I figured they would be back soon. And that is the end of chapter 4, guys. I will see you guys in chapter 5. Sorry about the crying baby.